the Senate, and when we elect more Democratic governors all over this country. And we have two of those governors with us tonight, and it's my great honor to introduce one who's been a very good friend, and I do mean good friend. When he served in Congress, learning how to become a good governor, he's been a great governor in Minnesota. My good friend, good friend, Tim Walz. Tim?
Wow. Well, thank you. South Carolina, there's a lot of reasons to thank you. One is, on behalf of the other 49 states, thank you for Jim Clyburn and sending his leadership to Washington. Look, thanks for having a Minnesotan here. It's a little warm tonight, I'll tell you that. The snowman in me wants to melt, but look, you could be anywhere tonight. You're here for good fish, I know that. You're here for the tradition. It took me 20 damn years to get this t-shirt, but I finally got here to get one. But that's not the main reason you're here. You're here because you love your state and country. And you know that the corruption and the cruelty that's happening under Donald Trump's watch cannot stand. You know that there's going to be a day of reckoning, and our children and our grandchildren are going to be a day of reckoning. The antidote to that, and I can tell you what, they act tough, they act cocky, but I taught school long enough to know it's because they're weak and they're bullies. And when you stand up to them, they fade away. How great is it that that dipshit Elon goes back to try and work? Think about it, though. Can you imagine? Just think about it. If you were literally the richest person in the world, and he was taking joy in cutting aid, not just in this country, but to some of the world's poorest children, where the decisions he was making were literally killing people for pennies a day so he could dance around and act like he was doing something. That's what's out there. But you know what terrifies them? What terrifies them is about 1,000 people in South Carolina coming out on a Friday night and saying, enough, enough. Look, Congressman Clyburn's right. We got to win that seat in Virginia. As governors, I'm telling you, we are the front line against this crap. Everything they're doing to try and undermine our citizens, taking away health care, taking away SNAP, making it difficult to get an education, terrorizing immigrants, just like our families when they came here, terrorizing them. We need to name it for what it is. Because I'll tell you what, this is in the playbook. Wannabe dictators and despots, one of their strongest tools is making people feel pessimistic and saying it doesn't matter. And I'm a geographer by training, and I'll tell you the thing that pisses me off more than anything was whoever created that red-blue map back in 2000, and they put up a map and they tell the rest of the country, oh, South Carolina's deep red. Well, it sure the hell doesn't look like it from where I'm standing right now. It doesn't look like it from Jim Clyburn or Jamie Harrison or Antoine or Chair Spain. It doesn't look like these brave folks who walked up on this stage, and I was with you, a school teacher with no experience, running in a congressional district that had one Democrat since 1892. So all the pundits said, God, what a dumbass. You ain't gonna win. You're not gonna win. They tell us that. Oh, well, you're wasting your time. Those people walked right up here, stood in front of their neighbors and said, I'm running for the United States Senate against a terrible person who's hurting this country. They deserve our support. They deserve our help. And you know why? Because nobody's riding in here on a white horse to save us. No damn consultant's gonna come up with a line. If you just said this and called them this, we would win. That's not how it works. We gotta outwork them. And I know we know how to work harder because most of you have had to because the system's screwed against you. So you've got to do it. So being here tonight, thank you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for believing. Don't buy into this. We made a mistake. Look, I had a privilege of a lifetime running with the most qualified person who's ever run for the United States presidency. I had that privilege. And what I know, though, is that each and every one of us, we're not going to have someone come save us. But who wants that? We can save ourselves. We can get out there, we can make a difference. But I was on that campaign, I called it my 90-day Eras Tour to 7 states. I went to the same 7 damn states over and over and over. You know what? People are pissed off in South Carolina, they're pissed off in Texas, they're pissed off in Indiana, and there's more of us than there are of the billionaires. So we need to change the attitude, compete in every district, compete for every school board seat, and come out to this damn fish fry with the attitude, we're gonna fill up on some fish, and then we're gonna go beat the hell out of these dictators. Now, as a governor, you know the senators are always like, there's only 100 of us, we're special. Well, there's only 50 governors. 23 of them are Democrats. After you pick up this one, 24, that will help. But governors know what other governors do. And other governors start to look to people that they look up to. I said, I came to South Carolina for a lot of reasons. One of them was to listen to the keynote speech tonight. If any of you were over there, you heard an incredible speech by an incredible leader who's leaning into the things to improve people's lives. So South Carolina, give it up for one of the best governors in this country, Maryland Governor Wes Moore. And the First Lady.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Hey, listen, first, can we please give it up for the amazing governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, who's not just leading with voice, but who is leading with results, which is exactly what we need right now. And first, I gotta give a huge shout out to Maryland's remarkable First Lady and my First Lady, Dawn Moore. That's right, that's right. We are so excited to be here, first of all, to celebrate someone who defines what it is to be a leader. Someone who has devoted his life to community. Someone who's devoted his life to the people. Someone who's devoted his life to results. And I am so honored that I can stand here and call him my friend, your representative, our representative, James Clyburn. And you know, Congressman Clyburn, he said some important things tonight. And there's something I wanted to remind people of, is that we come from a resilient history. We come from a resilient culture. We come from a place where we know that things have been difficult and things have been tough. But we've proven tougher. I stand here in front of you as my state's first black governor and only the 3rd African American ever elected governor in the history of this country. But let's be clear, that's not because I was only the 3rd African American ever qualified to be a governor.
Yes, sir.
There's a history. There's a structure. There's an understanding that we have work to do. And I'm standing here knowing that despite the fact that we know the obstacles that are standing in front of us, we know right now we have someone in the White House who, yes, is literally having dinner with crypto billionaires who are buying access to his public company that he is in charge of. We know that, yes, we have someone who literally introduced a budget plan, a big, beautiful bill that will kick 74,000 of my children and kick them into poverty while he's giving billionaires a tax cut. We know that. But here's what I also know. I know where we come from. I know our history. I know that I stand here as the governor of a state that was also the birth state of Harriet Tubman. I'm the governor of a state that is also the birthplace of Thurgood Marshall. I'm the governor of a state whose birthplace was also Frederick Douglass. People who looked at challenge and didn't blink and didn't flinch. That's now our responsibility. The baton is in our hands. And we have the ancestors who are looking at us and saying, what are you going to do now that you have the baton in your hand? We have children who are yet to be, who are still unborn, who are looking at us and saying, what are you going to do now that the baton's in our hand? And I tell you right now, the answer is, we are not going to drop it. We are going to run through the tape, and we are going to win because we understand what's at stake. This is the time. This is the time when people are going to learn that you are not just going to attack us and attack our future and attack our children and think we're going to take it. We fight back. We mobilize. We march. We push. We get results and we win. Up and down a ballot. This is a time that people in future generations will look at us and say they understood the assignment. They understood what was at stake. And they took it to heart how important victory was. And so I am so excited to be down here, not just to have some fish with y'all, because I'm about to tear into some fish too. But I'm excited to be down here because we're about to send a message, y'all. Send a message the entire country's going to hear. This is our time. This is our moment. We will not shirk. We will not flinch. We will not blink. We will win just as those who came before us did. We will win that those who come after us, that they expect and they deserve. This is a time when we will stand up and say, we understood the assignment. So thank you so much. God bless y'all. And let's go make this thing happen.
Y'all give it up for Westmore.